Hey everyone, Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys an old school album review. And today we're going to be looking into, well, one of my favorite bands of all time, and today is the album's 25th anniversary. And and as you can see below the title, we're going to be looking into Countdown to Extinction by Megadeth. This is the band's fifth album, released on July 6th, 1992 through Capitol Records. And for the occasion, I'm wearing my Megadeth Countdown to Extinction 20th Anniversary Tour shirt, where I actually got to see them play this album in its entirety, and which was a great show. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about to Extinction, Megadeth's overall fifth full-length album, and the follow-up to 1990's Thrash and what a lot of people consider Megadeth's best album period, and it's also my all-time favorite album, Rest in Peace. Now, with this album, Countdown to Extinction, it's kind of a little bit different. It still follows in the same thrash metal that Megadeth is known for, but I feel like they kind of like slowed down to a little bit, but it's not to the point where it's like, is this Megadeth? It still has like the thrashiness, but it also has some just like straight up heavy metal vibe with a little bit of a groove to it, which kind of makes, which is a little bit interesting thing. Like it has like the thrash riffs, but it also has like the like classic metal and like groove to it. And a lot of people consider this where they kind of went like commercial, and you can hear it a little bit, but they still managed to keep it to a point where this is Megadeth. Now, the production on this album is pretty crisp, it's clear, and it's clean. What could I say? The guitar tone is superb, and just some really great clear tones, some very crisp and crunchy. I mean, Dave Mustaine sounds really crisp, like, and guitar wise and vocal wise, it has a little bit more of the grittiness, but also has like a little bit, sings a little bit more cleaner. Marty Friedman, my God, like the solos he does on this album are just really great and superb. The bass tone, what can I say about David Ellefson? He comes up with some really great bass lines on this album, but man, just really superb. It's really audible, really good in the mix. Drumming wise, what can I say about the late great Nick Menza? The guy is one of the greatest drummers, and I think, in my opinion, he's the greatest drummer Megadeth has ever had, and he does a really great job on this album. And speaking of drumming, we'll just go right into this album track by track, with starting it off with Skin on My Teeth. Once, as I mentioned, Nick Menza, this song starts off with a drum intro, and you could tell by the song that it still has like the thrash metal that Megadeth has, but I feel like it sounds more heavy metal in a way, but it's still a kick-ass song. I think it's a great way to start off this album. It still has like the thrashiness, but also has a little bit more of the groove elements to it. Then we go into Symphony of Destruction, which some people would consider this the Megadeth's anthem, which just has a very simple riff in there, and just like just duh duh duh. It just sounds really just very simplistic. But overall, it's a really great song, and one of Megadeth's well-known songs, I should say. Architecture of Aggression, which just is a very kick-ass song with some quality, heavy, and thrashiness with the song. Chorus, like Dave's actually singing it, which is pretty good, and a really good solid guitar solo in there. I love like this song. Foreclosure of a Dream. Now, some people would think it's either a love it song, or some people would say that they hate this song, but it has a really excellent acoustic arpeggio with one of the better guitar solos on this album, and just some very memorable vocal work from Dave. I just think it's a pretty good song. Sweating Bullets. Now, this song just kicks ass, and lyrically I feel like it talks about schizophrenia and all cuckoo, and this is like one of Megadeth's well-known songs, especially like the lines of Dave saying, "Hello, me, meet the real me," and just like the riff in like 2 minutes is just pure thrash, and just has some really decent guitar solo in there. They're one of my favorite songs on this album. This Was My Life, great track, but it's not particularly memorable. But I'm not saying it's like bad. It's just okay. Then we go into the title track, Countdown to Extinction. I really like the little bass line that David Ellefson does. High Speed Dirt. They're one of Countdown to Extinction's more kick-ass songs, and has a really great guitar solo in there. Um, Psychotron, I think it's the mediocre song on the album. The lyrics just sound just strange to me. I don't know why. It just does. Captive Honor, overall, like lyrically, vocally, and instrumentally, it's a solid track. And of course, the album closes with Ashes in Your Mouth, which in my opinion, I think is an excellent way to end this album with a better intro riff, and it pretty much shows like some more thrashiness and has a little bit more progressive elements to it. And I think it's a pretty interesting way and a great song to end this album. Now, overall, Countdown to Extinction is a pretty good album in Megadeth's discography. If I had to give this album a score, I'd probably give this a solid 8.5 out of 10. It's a pretty good album. I actually like this, one of Megadeth's better albums, especially in the 90s. So yeah, that's my review of Countdown to Extinction, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. And I'll see you all in the next review, and keep it metal.